இந்திய அரசியல் வரலாற்றில் ஒரு மாநிலத்தில் இருக்கும் ஆட்சி செய்யும் ஒரு கட்சியினுடைய அழைப்பை ஏற்று இத்தனை இயக்கங்கள் கட்சிகள் வந்திருப்பது இக்கூட்டத்தின் மாபெரும் சிறப்பு. எங்கள் அழைப்பை ஏற்று வருகை தந்துள்ள உங்கள் அனைவரையும் முதலில் வருக வருக என வரவேற்கிறேன். பல்வேறு மாநிலங்களின் முதலமைச்சர்கள், துணை முதலமைச்சர்கள், தேசிய மற்றும் மாநில கட்சிகளின் தலைவர்கள், பிரதிநிதிகள், அமைச்சர்கள், நாடாளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர்கள் வருகை தந்திருக்கிறீர்கள். இந்திய ஜனநாயகத்தை காக்க நாம் அனைவரும் ஓரணியில் திரண்டிருக்கிறோம் என்பதை இந்தியாவுக்கு உணர்த்துவதாக உங்களது வருகை அமைந்திருக்கிறது. இந்திய ஜனநாயகம் மற்றும் கூட்டாட்சி ஆகியவற்றை காக்க நாம் ஒன்று கூடியிருக்கிறோம். இந்த முன்னெடுப்பில் இணைந்துள்ள அத்தனை பேருக்கும் நன்றி. பல்வேறு மாநிலங்களில் இருந்து நாம் ஒன்று கூடியிருக்கிறோம். நமது நாட்டில் உள்ள ஒவ்வொரு மாநிலமும் ஒவ்வொரு வகையில் தனித்தன்மை கொண்டது. பல்வேறு மொழிகள், இனங்கள், வழிபாட்டு நம்பிக்கைகள், பண்பாடுகள், உடைகள், உணவுகள், பழக்க வழக்கங்கள் கொண்டதுதான் இந்தியா. இத்தகைய மாநிலங்கள் சுயாட்சி தன்மையுடன் செயல்பட்டால்தான் இந்தியாவில் உண்மையான கூட்டாட்சி உருவாக முடியும், சிறந்த வளர்ச்சியை அடைய முடியும். அனைத்து தரப்பு மக்களும் போராடியதெல்லாம் நமது நாட்டிற்கு விடுதலை கிடைத்தது. இதனை உணர்ந்துதான் இந்திய அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தை வகுத்த மேதைகள் இந்தியாவை கூட்டாட்சி கொண்ட ஒன்றியமாக கட்டமைத்தார்கள். பல்வேறு காலகட்டங்களில் இந்த கூட்டாட்சி தன்மைக்கு சோதனை வந்தாலும் அதனை ஜனநாயக அமைப்புகள், இயக்கங்கள் தடுத்து வந்துள்ளன. அத்தகைய சோதனையும் ஆபத்தும் தான் இப்பொழுதும் வந்துள்ளது. இதனை உணர்ந்துதான் நாம் அனைவரும் கூடியிருக்கிறோம். என்னை பொறுத்தவரையில் இந்திய கூட்டாட்சியை காக்கும் வரலாற்றின் மிக மிக முக்கிய நாளாக இந்த நாள் அமையப் போகிறது. தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பு பற்றி நான் உங்களுக்கு அதிகமாக விளக்க வேண்டிய அவசியமில்லை. வரவிருக்கின்ற அல்லது எதிர்காலத்தில் நடைபெறுகின்ற சென்சஸ் அடிப்படையில் மேற்கொள்ளவிருக்கும் மக்கள் தொகை அடிப்படையிலான தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பு என்பது நம்மை போன்ற மாநிலங்களை வெகுவாக பாதிக்கப் போகிறது. மக்கள் தொகையை பல்வேறு சமூக நலத்திட்டங்கள் மூலமாக கட்டுப்படுத்திய நம்மை போன்ற மாநிலங்கள் அதன் காரணமாக நாடாளுமன்ற தொகுதியின் எண்ணிக்கையில் நமது பிரதிநிதித்துவத்தை அதிகம் இழக்க நேரிடும். எனவேதான் இதனை நாம் கடுமையாக, ஆணித்தரமாக எதிர்க்க வேண்டிய காலகட்டத்தில் இருக்கிறோம். தற்போதைய மக்கள் தொகை அடிப்படையில் தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியாது என்பதில் நாம் அனைவரும் உறுதியாக இருக்க வேண்டும். இங்கே இருக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு மாநிலமும் பயனுள்ள மக்கள் தொகை கட்டுப்பாட்டின் மூலம் குறிப்பிடத்தக்க முன்னேற்றத்தை காட்டியுள்ளன. இத்தகைய மாநிலங்களை தண்டிப்பதாக இந்த நடவடிக்கை இருக்கப் போகிறது. மக்கள் பிரதிநிதிகளின் எண்ணிக்கை குறைவதன் மூலமாக நமது எண்ணங்களை சொல்வதற்கான வலிமை குறைகிறது. இந்த ஆண்டு காலமாக மணிப்பூர் மாநிலம் பற்றி எரிகிறது. 2 ஆண்டு காலமாக மணிப்பூர் மாநிலம் பற்றி எரிகிறது. அதனால் நீதிக்கான அவர்களின் குரல்கள் புறக்கணிக்கப்படுகின்றன. ஏனென்றால் நாட்டின் கவனத்தை ஈர்க்க அவர்களுக்கு அரசியல் வலிமை இல்லை. எனவே நாடாளுமன்ற தொகுதிகளின் எண்ணிக்கை குறைவது அல்லது நமது பிரதிநிதித்துவம் குறைவது என்பதை நம்முடைய அரசியல் வலிமையை குறைப்பதாகத்தான் பார்க்க வேண்டும். இது வெறும் எண்ணிக்கையை பற்றியது மட்டுமல்ல, இது நமது அதிகாரம், நமது உரிமைகள் மற்றும் நமது எதிர்காலத்தின் நலன்களை பற்றியது. பிரதிநிதித்துவம் குறைந்து வருவதால் நமது மாநிலங்கள் நமக்கு தேவையான நிதியை பெறுவதற்கு கூட போராட வேண்டி வரும். நமது விருப்பமில்லாமல் நமக்கான சட்டங்கள் வடிவமைக்கப்படும். நமது மக்களை பாதிக்கும் முடிவுகள் நம்மை அறியாதவர்களால் எடுக்கப்படும். பெண்கள் அதிகாரம் அடைவதில் பின்னடைவுகளை சந்திப்பார்கள். மாணவர்கள் முக்கிய வாய்ப்புகளை இழப்பார்கள். உழவர்கள் ஆதரவின்றி பின்தங்குவார்கள். நமது பண்பாடு, அடையாளம் மற்றும் முன்னேற்றம் ஆபத்தை சந்திக்கும். காலங்காலமாக நாம் போற்றி பாதுகாத்து வரும் சமூக நீதி பாதிக்கப்படும். குறிப்பாக பட்டியலின பழங்குடி மக்கள் அதிகம் பாதிக்கப்படுவார்கள். தொகுதியில் எண்ணிக்கை குறைத்து அதை அனுமதித்தாலோ அல்லது நமது மாநில பிரதிநிதித்துவத்தை குறைக்க அனுமதித்தாலோ நம் சொந்த நாட்டில் நாமே அரசியல் அதிகாரம் இழந்த குடிமக்களாக மாறும் அபாயம் ஏற்படும். எனவேதான் தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பு விவகாரத்தை சாதாரணமாக கருதக்கூடாது என்று சொல்கிறேன். இன்னொன்றை நான் தெளிவாக சொல்கிறேன். ஜனநாயக பிரதிநிதித்துவத்தை வலுப்படுத்தும் எந்த ஒரு நடவடிக்கையும் நாம் எதிர்க்கவில்லை. ஆனால் அந்த நடவடிக்கையானது நியாயமான அரசியல் பிரதிநிதித்துவத்தை பாதிக்கக்கூடாது என்றுதான் சொல்கிறோம். இந்த போராட்டம் மறுசீரமைப்புக்கு எதிரானதல்ல. இந்த போராட்டம் நியாயமான தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பு வலியுறுத்துகிறது என்பதை அனைவரும் ஏற்றுக்கொள்வீர்கள் என்று நினைக்கிறேன். இதனை உணர்ந்து தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ள அனைத்து கட்சி கூட்டத்தை நான் கூட்டினேன். தற்போதைய மக்கள் தொகை அடிப்படையில் தற்போதுள்ள 543 மக்களவைத் தொகுதியில் மறுசீரமைப்பு செய்யப்பட்டால் தமிழ்நாடு 8 இடங்களை இழக்கும் என்பதை நான் தெளிவுபடுத்தினேன். நாடாளுமன்றத்தின் மொத்த இடங்களின் எண்ணிக்கை அதிகரிக்கப்பட்டால் தமிழ்நாடு 12 இடங்களை இழக்க நேரிடும். இது நமது அரசியல் பிரதிநிதித்துவத்திற்கு நேரடி அடியாகும் என்று சொன்னேன். மறுநாளை கோயம்புத்தூரில் ஒன்றிய உள்துறை அமைச்சர் அமித்ஷா அவர்கள் ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கெடுத்து உரையாற்றும் போது தமிழ்நாடு மற்றும் பிற தென் மாநிலங்கள் விகிதாச்சார அடிப்படையில் நாடாளுமன்ற இடங்களை இழக்காது என்று கூறினார். உள்துறை அமைச்சரின் விளக்கம் தெளிவாக இல்லை, குழப்பமாகத்தான் இருந்தது. 2023ஆம் ஆண்டு தெலுங்கானா மாநிலத்தில் பரப்புரை செய்ய வந்த பிரதமர் மோடி அவர்கள் சாதிவாரி கணக்கெடுப்பு நடத்தி மக்கள் தொகை அடிப்படையில் சமூகங்களுக்கு பிரதிநிதித்துவம் வழங்க வேண்டும் என காங்கிரஸ் கட்சி சொல்கிறது. அடுத்ததாக தொகுதி மறுவரை நடக்க உள்ளது. காங்கிரஸ் கட்சி சொல்வதைப் போல மக்கள் தொகை அடிப்படையில் மக்களவைத் தொகுதி மறுவரை செய்யப்பட்டால் தென் மாநிலங்கள் 100 தொகுதிகளை இழக்க நேரிடும். தென்னிந்திய மக்கள் இதனை ஏற்பார்களா என்று கேட்டார் பிரதமர். இதன் அடிப்படையில் பார்த்தால் தொகுதியில் எண்ணிக்கை குறையும் என்பதை அவரே ஒப்புக்கொண்டுள்ளார் என்பதை உணரலாம். எப்பொழுதும் மாநில உரிமைகளை பறிக்கிற கட்சியாக பாஜக இருந்துள்ளது. அவர்கள் தங்களது உள்நோக்கத்தை தொகுதி சீரமைப்பு திட்டத்தில் செய்ய நினைக்கிறார்கள். இதனை எந்த மாநிலமும் அனுமதிக்கக்கூடாது. இந்த அச்சுறுத்தலை உணர்ந்து முன் எப்போதும் இல்லாத ஒற்றுமையுடன் தமிழ்நாடு செயல்பட்டு வருகிறது. இதே போன்ற ஒற்றுமையை இந்த அரங்கில் உள்ள அனைத்து மாநிலங்களும் காட்ட வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். இந்த கூட்டு நடவடிக்கை குழு கூட்டத்தில் விவாதிக்கப்பட்டு நிறைவேற்றப்பட வேண்டிய தீர்மானங்கள் குறித்த உங்கள் மதிப்புமிக்க பரிந்துரைகளை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள அனைவரையும் நான் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். இந்த குழுவிற்கு நியாயமான தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்புக்கான கூட்டு நடவடிக்கை குழு என்று பெயரிட நான் முன்மொழிகிறேன். நாம் தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்புக்கு எதிரானவர்கள் அல்ல, நியாயமான தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்புக்கு ஆதரவானவர்கள் என்பதே இந்த பெயரே சொல்லும். ஒரு நாள் நாம் கூடி ஆலோசித்து தீர்மானம் நிறைவேற்றுவதில் மட்டுமே இந்த போராட்டம் முடிவடைந்துள்ளது. உரிமையை நிலைநாட்டிட தொடர் நடவடிக்கை மேற்கொள்ள வேண்டியது மிக அவசியம். ஒன்றிய அரசை வலியுறுத்துவது ஒரு பக்கமும், இன்னொரு பக்கம் இது குறித்து மக்களிடம் விளக்கிட, மக்களிடையே விழிப்புணர்வை ஏற்படுத்திட இந்த கூட்டு நடவடிக்கை குழு மிக அவசியம் என்றே கருதுகிறேன். நமது அரசியல் ரீதியான எதிர்ப்பை சட்டபூர்வமாக எப்படி நடத்துவது என்பது குறித்து அனைவரும் ஆலோசனை வழங்குமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். அரசியல் மற்றும் சட்ட நடவடிக்கைகளை வரையறுப்பதற்காக வல்லுநர்களின் குழுவை அமைக்க நான் முன்மொழிகிறேன். ஒட்டுமொத்த முன்மொழிவுகள் குறித்த தங்கள் கருத்துக்களை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளுமாறு அனைவரையும் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். ஒற்றுமை உணர்வோடு அனைவரும் ஒன்றுபட்டு போராடினால்தான் வெற்றி பெற முடியும். எந்த சூழலிலும் நமது பிரதிநிதித்துவம் குறையக்கூடாது, குறைய விடக்கூடாது என்ற உறுதியோடு போராடுவோம். நியாயமான தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பு அடையும் வரை நாம் இணைந்து போராடுவோம். எங்களது அழைப்பை ஏற்று வருகை தந்துள்ள மாநில முதலமைச்சர்கள், துணை முதலமைச்சர்கள், அரசியல் தலைவர்கள், நாடாளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர் அனைவருக்கும் மீண்டும் எனது நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
And other representatives from the various states gathered here. Greetings to you all. At the outset, on behalf of all of us, let me place my sincere gratitude to Thiru M.K. Stalin, the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, for gathering us all here together today. The proposed delimitation of Lok Sabha constituencies is hanging over our heads like the sword of Damocles. Various reports indicate that the BJP-led union government is going ahead into the delimitation process without any consultation. This sudden move is not driven by any constitutional principle or any democratic imperative, but by narrow political interests. The delimitation process, if it is undertaken after the census, will lead to a large increase in the number of seats of northern states, while there will be a significant reduction in the representation of the southern states in parliament. This will suit the BJP as they hold greater influence in the north. If delimitation is carried out purely on the basis of population, then Kerala and other southern states will suffer, as we have been bringing down our population since 1973, when the previous delimitation was carried out, in which the number of seats in the Lok Sabha was reorganized. Our states are now said to be punished precisely for our sincere implementation of the National Population Policy of 1976. When a state faithfully implements a nationally recognized policy, it deserves special consideration for that very reason. Not only is this consideration being denied, but we are even being penalized for fulfilling our duty to the nation. This is the crux of the current issue. The National Population Policy of 1976 was not intended only for specific regions of the country. It was declared by the Union government as a policy for the entire nation. However, many states failed to implement it effectively. Our states, on the other hand, have implemented it commendably. The Union government has praised us time and again for our achievement. Yet the same Union government is now punishing us for having achieved the target and going beyond it. The approach seems to be, now you have a smaller population, so now you deserve lesser funds and lesser representation. This is deplorable. Our states, which have implemented the national population policy with dedication upholding the broader national interest, are already being punished in another way. This punishment is in the form of cutting short our share of taxes that is constitutionally due to us. Our decreasing population is being cited to justifying it. Kerala's share, which was 3.875% during the 10th Finance Commission, has now dwindled to a paltry 1.925% in the 15th Finance Commission. Effective implementation of population control measures invariably leads to rise in the public health spending. However, while devolving funds, no special consideration is given for the same. If our parliamentary representation is further reduced, while our share of the nation's wealth continues to decline, we will face an unprecedented situation in which both our rightful share of funds and our political voice to demand them diminish simultaneously. It is in the recognition of the gravity of this issue that we, that is, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Odisha, West Bengal and Punjab, are now uniting in protest. We are gathered here at the invitation of the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Thiru M.K. Stalin, to mark the beginning of our coordinated resistance by forming a joint action committee. The Union government's actions, from fiscal policies to language policies to cultural policies to now even the fixation of representation, are destabilizing India's federal system and democratic framework. This cannot be allowed to pass. India's constitution identifies India as a union of states, which underlines our federal character. It strikes a balance between the union and the states. The current effort at delimitation disrupts this equilibrium, disproportionately empowering states that fail to implement national policies like population control. States that prioritize education, healthcare, and gender equity will be penalized for their progressive choices. This creates a perverse incentive, as states will be discouraged from investing in human development for fear of losing political representation. The union government should examine whether this will guide the nation forward or drive us backwards. India's federal structure was designed to protect smaller communities and regional identities. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chairman of the drafting committee of India's Constituent Assembly, warned against the tyranny of the majority, advocating for states' rights to balance central authority. Back in 1988, the Sarkaria Commission reinforced this, stating that federalism is not a mere administrative arrangement, but a fundamental feature of the Constitution. Delimitation that ignores this principle risks reviving colonial centralization, while diverse voices were subsumed under majoritarian agendas. The end result was that the Indian people united against our colonizers and drove them out of the country. Those at the helm of affairs today should take due note of our history and what it teaches us. India's federal structure is a cornerstone of our democracy, designed to accommodate the country's vast mosaic of cultures, languages, and regional identities. The diversity that defines India is not just a demographic statistic. It is the bedrock upon which our unity is founded. A robust federal system ensures that every region, with its unique history, language, and cultural heritage, has a voice in the national dialogue. The current process of delimitation poses a serious threat to the preservation of our rich cultural and linguistic diversities as well. Redrawing constituencies solely on the basis of population without accounting for these vital cultural and linguistic factors risks the possibility of marginalizing those regions that have long preserved their distinct identities. This is especially critical for our states, which not only contribute to the nation's demographic fabric, but also enrich its cultural landscape. The strength of India lies in its plurality. Our cultural and linguistic diversities are assets that strengthen our nation, enabling us to harness a wide range of perspectives and innovations. Kerala's Kudumbashree initiative, which empowered millions of women, and Tamil Nadu's midday meal scheme are state-specific innovations that became templates for the nation later on. Centralizing power will stifle such localized situations, which are crucial for addressing India's diversity. Cultural preservation and federalism are intertwined in the Indian experience underlines it. When smaller or less populous states lose political clout, their capacity to safeguard their cultural traditions diminishes. A homogenized parliament dominated by populous states could sideline regional priorities, eroding the pluralism envisioned by modern India's founders. A centralized process that ignores these factors not only dilutes regional voices, but also threatens the balance that has allowed India to thrive as a united and diverse republic. The union government must therefore engage in meaningful dialogue with the states and incorporate our considerations so as to safeguard states' interest before going ahead with the delimitation process. Reducing the representation of our states will create a political and regional imbalance and undermine the diversity of our pluralistic democracy. This must not happen. Kerala's stance on this matter is unequivocal. The Union government's approach, which violates federal principles and seeks to curtail the representation of certain states for political reasons, is unacceptable. The decision on going ahead with the delimitation process must be made only through a consensus. Article 82 of the Indian Constitution mandates the delimitation of parliamentary seats after every census. It was in exercise of this provision that the Lok Sabha strength was increased over the years from 489 to 543. However, delimitations have not been conducted as required by the Constitution after every census. Decisions to conduct or delay delimitation have been made solely on the basis of the transient political convenience of those in power. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment of 1976 froze delimitation until after the first census post-2000. During this period, despite the implementation of the National Population Policy, population disparities persisted in the country, leading to the 84th Constitutional Amendment, which extended the delimitation freeze until after the first census post-2026. The 2021 census has not yet been conducted, and the next census is due in 2031. However, the Union government appears to be pushing the delimitation even before that. In the 2011 census, Kerala's population growth was a mere 4.92% compared to the national average of 17.7% between 2001 and 2011, as our states have recorded population growth rates below the national average during this period. The last reorganization of seats in the Lok Sabha was conducted in 1973, based on the 1971 census. At that time, Kerala accounted for 3.89% of India's population. However, due to the effective implementation of the National Population Policy over the next 4 decades, Kerala's share had shrunk to just 2.76% by 2011. If the delimitation exercise is carried out now, Kerala's reduced population will inevitably lead to fewer parliamentary seats. States being punished for successfully implementing population control policies is unconscionable. We are determined to resist this injustice. Federal principles and equitable representation must be upheld. While the political maneuvering behind the current delimitation effort is clear, it is imperative that the Union government also considers the broader implications for Indian federalism and the preservation of our cultural and linguistic diversities. Any action that undermines them will not only destabilize our political institutions, but also weaken the very foundation of our democratic society. The Union government's arguments that our states will get additional seats on a pro rata basis cannot be taken at face value. The Union has not been able to clarify whether this pro rata distribution will be based on the current strength of parliamentary seats or on the basis of population figures. Therefore, the Union government should alleviate our fears. It is the Union's responsibility to refrain from unilateral measures and preserve the essence of democracy and federalism. We need to ensure that the delimitation exercise is carried out in such a way that our current proportional share of seats in the parliament is retained. This is the consensus that we all need to arrive at. I am sure that we will be able to do that, and that this meeting will serve as a strong foundation for the formation and functioning of the Joint Action Committee, which will take the steps forward in making our consensus upheld at the national level. Let me conclude by stating that federalism is not a gift from the Union, but a right of the states. Our collective resistance is not just about seats. It is a fight to preserve India's soul as a diverse and inclusive democracy. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Tamil Nadu CM Stalin Garu, Honorable Kerala CM Sri Pinarayi Vijayan Garu, Honorable Punjab CM Sri Bhagwant Singh Maan Garu, Honorable Karnataka Deputy CM Sri D.K. Shivakumar Garu, leaders of various political parties. Firstly, I express my special appreciation for Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin for bringing all of us together on this platform. We have shared a detailed note on our views on delimitation. We seek unity in South Indian states to fight jointly, as well Punjab. I will briefly summarize my point. Today, we have a big challenge facing the country. BJP is implementing a policy of demographic penalty. Since 1971, when India decided to adopt family planning as a national priority, South India has done very well, but big states in North India have failed. We become spectacular South. We achieved fastest economic growth, bigger GDP, higher per capita income, job creation, best infrastructure development, better governance, and best social welfare. We contribute more to national exchequer and get lesser allocations. For rupees 1 tax paid by Tamil Nadu, it gets back 26 paisa. Likewise, Karnataka 16 paisa, Telangana 42 paisa, Kerala is 49 paisa. But when Bihar pays rupees 1 rupees tax, it gets 6 rupees 6 paisa. Uttar Pradesh gets rupees 2 rupees 3 paisa. Madhya Pradesh gets 1 rupee 73 paisa. We are one country. We respect it. But we cannot accept this proposed delimitation because of it will politically limit us. It will punish us for being performing states. We have to stop BJP for implementing any unfair delimitation. My first point, don't increase Lok Sabha seats. Do delimitation within states. In 1976, Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi did delimitation without increasing any seats because it will create imbalance of political power between states. In 2001, NDA government led by Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee also did delimitation in states without any increasing seats. PM Narendra Modi must also do the same. Don't increase Lok Sabha seat numbers. My second point is that South will not accept population-based delimitation. If BJP does delimitation on population, South India will lose political voice. North will make us secondary citizens. Everyone here agrees we will not accept delimitation based on the population because then states like UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan will dominate the rest of the country. We cannot accept it at any cost. Public, political parties and leaders of the South India and Punjab must unite and oppose this move by the BJP. My third point is that pro rata formula is also not acceptable. Pro rata formula will also hurt us. Problem of pro rata, it changes power gap. Any government is decided by the majority of 1 seat or 1 vote. We have a history of central government falling because of just 1 vote. So pro rata formula will also hurt us politically. What options are acceptable? My analysis is simple. Narendra Modi can follow Vajpayee's method. Don't increase Lok Sabha for another 25 years. Do delimitation taking state as a unit. Conduct delimitation within the states. Change boundaries of Lok Sabha seats inside state based on the latest census. increase SC, ST seats in states. Provide 33% women reservation in every state. I was MP of Malkajgiri in Telangana, world's largest parliamentary constituency. Total voters was 32 lakhs. Population is over 45 lakh. So I understand problem of large constituencies, but parliament is for making policies for country, not for solving smaller citizen problems. Most common public problems are solved at state level, at assembly level, at local body level. Here is my final demand and personal solution. It is time for Centre to end delimitation policy against South and Punjab. It is time for Centre to repay and reward us for our great role and contribution in nation building for the last 50 years. South now demands an exemption to delimitation formula based on the population, just like union territories and smaller states in Northeast, where population MP proportion is not same as national average. Giving South a strong share in Parliament as a reward for good performance will give incentive to other states to focus on economic growth and good governance. If BJP wants to do delimitation at any cost, here is my condition. Today, South has 130 seats out of 543 seats. It means a political proportion of around 24%. Political demand of South is to increase this to 33%. I am reiterating my suggestion. Today, South has 130 seats out of 543 seats. It means a political proportion of around 24%. Political demand of South is to increase this to 33% of Lok Sabha seats after delimitation. This is what my suggestion and demand. Anything less would reduce South to a role of passive audience in political theatre of India. I request entire South, all states, all political parties to leave differences and unitedly fight for this cause. I will soon pass a resolution in my state assembly on this issue. I request all friends to do same in their state assemblies. Let entire India hear strong voice of South India as well Punjab. I will hold next meeting of southern states in Hyderabad. I will discuss how to take fight forward. I will organize a public meeting of all leaders. Please join us there to continue this fight. Thank you. And I have one more suggestion. Why don't you create a platform in Delhi? Why? Because Delhi is the capital of our nation. We have to create one platform to discuss, and we can take certain decisions in Delhi level to coordinate with all national parties. Whoever is come forward, whoever is ready to support us, irrespective of region, religion, or anything, any other political parties wants to support our reasonable demand. We have to establish a coordination committee or otherwise place in Delhi. Why? Because political capital is Delhi. So we have to address that problem. I would suggest Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, please ask your people to establish something in Delhi level. Then we can easily coordinate with that platform. Otherwise, it will become tough to coordinate or communicate. So please examine this also. Thank you. Sir, because this is appreciation for, we have contributed a lot last 50 years in financially, employment and everything. This must be, there is an appreciation for our contribution. Then only the larger states will fall in line. Otherwise, they are increasing their population, they are getting more money from government of India. Simple example, Tamil Nadu is getting hardly per rupee is 16 paisa, whereas Bihar is getting 6 rupees 6 paisa. Same thing, Uttar Pradesh is getting 2 rupees 73 paisa. Because of they have not followed Government of India's suggestion. So now here the time has come. Government of India has to set norms to streamline certain things. Our population is stabilized almost below 2%. So it is not going to increase anyway. So whereas in Bimaru states like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, the population is increasing near about 5%. So every year the population is going to increase. Srimati Indira Gandhi, she has found 50 years back, she has noticed this problem. That is how she has freezed that number. But anyway, BJP wants to increase this thing. We have to put our demand on behalf of southern states. Why? Because we are a well-behaved citizens, well-behaved states. They cannot punish just like that. So we have to push our demand. Otherwise, they will take a decision. Why? Because they have brutal majority, or otherwise they can do whatever they want. We have seen that, demonetization, GST, Jammu Kashmir, 370 article, Citizen Amendment Act. All these, just they have introduced in the morning and they have passed in the evening. They don't allow you to speak, or they don't allow you to protest also. Yesterday I have seen the Tamil Nadu people have a t-shirt. Speaker has expelled. Every day Rahul Gandhi is coming with the t-shirt. What is the problem? Wearing on a t-shirt. So just because of you have slow, yes, boss, that is your fundamental right. Why? Why not? Every day, even including ruling party also doing same thing in, they are giving slogans in Lok Sabha as well in Rajya Sabha. When ruling party is doing same thing, while one state or one party is having some problem, why can't? They can do same thing, no. They cannot expel just like that. They cannot push out from the... So that is why, that is the problem. Going forward, if based on the population, it is going to decrease 19%. Now we have a 24% representation. If they do based on the population, the seats are going to decrease up to 19%. We are going to affect 5%. So we have to, Government of India has to address this issue, and Government of India has to appreciate us. We are well-behaved states. We have contributed a lot. Why Bihar is getting 6 rupees? Because of our taxpayer. They are enjoying our, based on our sweat and blood. They have to appreciate us. So this is what my suggestion for 33%. Where we can...
33% means it is only an increase of 49 seats.
Yeah, whatever it is, sir, at least proportional percentage is going to increase.
Percentage.
So this is what my suggestion. If you have any other suggestion also, we will discuss, and we will take a...
Everything, we were not like the union government, we take a lot of discussions and debate.
Anyway, thank you. It's an elaborate subject, we will discuss later. Every party has to table their views. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Stalin.
Honorable Chief Ministers, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Honorable Ministers, respected members of the Parliament, respected political party leaders and the representatives. Good morning to everyone present here. Our Honorable Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has convened this meeting at a very crucial time when our rights and voices are under real threat. I'm happy that we have come together to counter the threat of delimitation being pushed by the Union government. As per the guidance of our Honorable Chief Minister, I would like to share the impacts of the proposed delimitation exercise, particularly on the states that have effectively implemented the family planning policies recommended by the Union government. I would like to highlight the 5 important areas in this presentation. The trend in the population growth. Number 2, the history of delimitation exercises. Number 3, the possible delimitation scenarios. Number 4, the impact on states like us. And number 5, the why we need to join hands right now. For decades, states present here have made significant efforts to control and manage the population growth. We introduced policies, raised awareness, and achieved what the nation aimed for, a stable population growth. While some other states continue to experience rapid population growth, we acted responsibly. As a result, we reached the population replacement rate much earlier than many other states. But instead of being rewarded for this achievement, we are now at the risk of losing our political representation. The green line in this graph clearly shows how effectively the states present here have controlled the population growth rate. On contrary, you can see the violet line, the population growth in other states have continued to rise post-1971. According to the Article 82 of the Indian Constitution, parliamentary seats should be adjusted after every census. Accordingly, the number of seats were increased from 489 to 494 as per the census of 1951. This was then increased to 522 seats after the 1961 census. The last delimitation was done in 1973 based on the 1971 census, fixing the number of seats at 543, which is right now. To encourage the states that successfully implemented the population control program, the Constitution was amended earlier to freeze the delimitation exercise. The 42nd Amendment, enacted in the 1976, allowed the delimitation exercise to remain frozen for the next 25 years, that is till 2000. When this period was expired, the 84th Amendment was enacted in 2002, extending the freeze for another 25 years, that is till 2026. As we all know, the freeze implemented in 2002 is set to expire. So what will happen in 2026? The 2021 census, which was postponed due to COVID-19, has still not been done. Particularly, it is a strategy to implement the delimitation after the 2026. If they use the post-2026 census data, the allocation of Lok Sabha seats will change drastically. And here lies the danger. States with high population growth will gain more seats, while states like us, we will lose significant political representation. So far, the union government is reluctant to make any official statement on the continuation of the freeze imposed in 2002. In fact, there are contradicting statements from the Honorable Prime Minister and the Home Minister on delimitation, creating a lot of confusions. In September 2023, Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shah said in the Parliament that the delimitation process would be implemented and seats would be increased. However, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, addressing an election rally in Telangana in 2023, said that if the delimitation exercise was implemented, southern states would lose around 100 seats. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister, who recently visited Coimbatore, claimed that Tamil Nadu will not be affected by this delimitation exercise. Therefore, the questions we have in front of us are, will the freeze be extended or not? Will the number of seats remain the same or will it increase? If increased, what will be the number? On what basis the seats will be distributed among the states? Whether it will be done as per the 1971 census or the proposed projected 2026 census. If the freeze is not extended, two scenarios are likely to occur. Number one, the union government would do the delimitation exercise by keeping the current 543 seats but redistributing them based on the 2026 census. The scenario 2. Alternatively, the seats may be increased to 848 and then distributed after the 2026 census. In both the cases, we will lose our representation significantly. The scenario 1, for example, if the existing 543 seats is retained and redistributed based on the 2026 projected population, what will happen? I would like to explain this with some data here. Today, the states present here contributes 30% of MPs in the parliament, with a total of 163 seats out of 543 in the Lok Sabha. If the delimitation is implemented, our seats will drop to 133 from 163, reducing our representation from 30% to 24%. For example, Kerala will lose 8 seats, which is right now around 20, they will conclude in 12. 20 minus 12 is 8, which is nearly 40% of their existing seats. In contrast, the number of seats for certain states will increase significantly. In case the scenario 2 happens, if the number of seats is increased to 848, what will we get? We might get some additional seats, but our overall representation will still decline to 24.7% from 30% again. For example, consider the case of Tamil Nadu, if 848 seats are redistributed based on the 1971 census, we should get 61 seats. However, as a projected population of 2026, we will get only 49 seats. Tamil Nadu alone will lose around 12 seats. Kerala will lose around 11 seats. Andhra and Telangana together will lose around 11 seats. And as a team, 7 states present here will lose a total of 44 seats. So what are the possible threats here? The delimitation would unfairly increase the representation for some states while reducing our current representation, giving undue advantage to few states such as Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. While the 7 states present here are set to gain 65 seats, the above mentioned 4 states will get additional 150 seats. National policies on agriculture, industries, jobs, regional development could be dictated by a few states, sidelining our needs. The formation of union government would be disproportionately influenced by a few states, significantly weakening the political voice of our states. Therefore, we call this as unfair and unjust move by the union government. This is not just a numbers game, it is a planned attack on non-BJP ruled states to reduce their representation. More seats for states with higher birth rates means our voice in the parliament weakens. If not rewarded, we should at least not be penalized. This move is a direct threat to federal structure. So we must act quickly and we must act together. We must demand on extension of the freeze on Lok Sabha seats based on 1971 census beyond 2026. We must insist that the current proportionate representation of each state in the Lok Sabha be maintained, regardless of whether the number of seats is increased or not. This is not just about any one state. It is about the future of democracy in India. So let us all stand together. Let us raise our voices. Let us fight for a fair delimitation process that protects our representation and ensures justice for future generation. I thank you all again for participating in this significant meeting, and we are looking forward toward your valuable views and suggestions. Nandri, Vanakkam.